Harley Davidson bikers tried to silence me. Let's get into this one.
RevelatorAlf.
Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. I hope you're all well. So this video is dedicated to Harley Davidson riders out there, bikers, whatever you want to call them, and of which I am one. Yeah, I ride a Harley Davidson, of course. And, you know, those out there in the internet world or whoever who say, shut up. You should not be saying these things. Be quiet. Don't say these horrible things about Harley Davidson or any other motorcycle brand. Well, let me just address this first of all. So we all live in a free world. So we can say what we want and we can do what we want. Let's say that's the whole point of living in a free society, right? As long as we're not inciting violence or all that kind of stuff, we can't be censored. So we can say whatever we want based upon opinion, based upon a suggestion, based upon information that we get, on a particular subject. And at the end of the day, they're just discussions. They're just words on something. Now, anybody has the right to say, no, I don't like what you're saying there, or I don't agree with it, or come back with a rational argument or a counter argument. Great, no problem. But if people are going to be threatening in any way, obviously that's just not cool. But also if people are going to say, you got to shut up, you can't say this about this bike or this brand or whatever it is. Well, I'm afraid to say I can, and I do, and I will. There's nothing that anybody can say to me to say, oh yes, I'm going to stop. Because now, let's say if I was being offensive to a particular person, then I get the point, and that's not my way anyway. I'm not offensive, or hopefully not offensive to individuals, and I'm hopefully not offensive to any particular body or organisation or a company. I just call it as I see it and about information that I receive. So if something is on a negative nature or is a criticism, let's say, of a brand or a motorcycle, then there is a reason behind it. Now, somebody may take offence to that, may take umbrage against that, but again, this is not a personal thing against somebody else. Now, that person can disagree with me, of course, and I welcome disagreement. I welcome anybody who has a different opinion or has a different insight into something. Absolutely, no problem. But for somebody just to say, you got to shut up, you got to be quiet, all that kind of stuff, it doesn't make any sense to me. You're not entering a discussion here. You're not offering any counter argument. You're just not willing to listen to anybody else who's got some other information or another experience or has heard of other experiences that are different to yours. Now, let me just say this, and I've kind of said quite a bit about this in recent videos or the last few months as well. Let's say in particular with Harley Davidson, there are some fantastic attributes towards Harley Davidson Motorcycle Company and the dealerships, and also particular models that they sell. There are some great things about it. There's some great things about Harley Davidson lifestyle, which I don't particularly enjoy using that term, but the Harley Davidson lifestyle, the motorcycling world, let's say, or Harley Davidson owners groups or any kind of riders association. There's some fantastic aspects to it. But I also know that there are some negative aspects to any or all of that. And, it's those things that sometimes I find really interesting, not only because it highlights where things are not quite working out and we can find solutions or hopefully highlight areas where things can be improved, but also it also highlights where people have got the blinkers on as well and they won't see that something is working against them as well. And we want to have a situation where everything is working for us. We're enjoying the experience, we're riding our motorcycles, whatever it is. And let's not forget, this is about riding motorcycles. This is about enjoying a motorcycling lifestyle or a biker lifestyle in whatever facet you can think of. But it's all about that enjoyment of it and that living it and breathing it and riding your bikes or working on your bikes, working in a workshop, whatever it is. So if there's an issue, then you can find a way of fixing it or highlighting the issue so somebody else can fix it, then surely that is a good thing, isn't it? So while some videos might be negative, there might be a criticism, it comes from a good place to highlight something that hopefully everybody can benefit. But if you are one of those people who want to shut somebody up or want to silence somebody just because they have an opinion, well, what does that sound like to you? What does that sound like if you're trying to silence somebody who is just having an opinion? That sounds something very unconstitutional, let's say. It sounds very undemocratic. It sounds very much like that your opinion is right and my opinion is wrong, and whoever's in the wrong does not have a right to say anything. But obviously that doesn't work, does it? That doesn't work in this society or this in this world that we're living in. We all have a right to do it. Now, as with any television program that you might have watched when people used to watch television, or anything that you watch on YouTube, or anything you watch on Netflix, whatever, if you don't like it, just don't watch it. If you don't like the title of a video, well, don't watch it. If you're interested in the title or the thumbnail, whatever it is, then yeah, watch it. Whatever you think you're going to watch. Now, whether you agree with it or not, and if you disagree with it or agree with it, leave comments. That's great. That's what the whole process is about. But to threaten somebody to say, you can't do this, you can't say this, you got to shut the hell up, you got to do this, and say, well, it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. People can keep on talking and having opinions on any subject. As long as it's not inciting any kind of violence, it's not breaking any rules, and as long as it's coming from a good place, in my opinion, or if it's information backed or it's conversational. That's the biggest thing about this. It's having a conversation with anybody, or having a discussion, or raising a discussion. In fact, a lot of the videos that I make them on purpose, with a particular title, with a particular thumbnail, let's say, and I do it on purpose so that you guys watching the video can go away with your friends and you can have this discussion amongst yourselves. It's about saying, like, actually, somebody's raised this. Let's talk about it. Could this be a factor? Could it happen in the future? What if this happens? These are good discussions to have, and also if there is a kind of negative criticism, you say, well, look, somebody's raised this. Actually, does this happen? Has any of us experienced it? Has anybody we know experienced it? Why did this happen? And I always say this about any negative thing that happens within Harley Davidson, let's say, because this is where I'm getting a lot of the criticism about, is to say, well, actually, from a motorcycle company or from a dealership point of view, this is the way I view it. And I always say this is the way I view it. And that if one person has a bad experience, then that should raise alarm bells for not only the dealership, not only the company, but every other Harley Davidson owner to say, why did that happen? Why has somebody had a bad experience? Why has somebody had a bad experience with their motorcycle? Because the next time it could happen to you. And if it happens to you, you won't feel very good about it, will you? So there we go. It's not always negative and it's not always positive. I'm sure you'll agree that everything in life, there's always a mixture of two. And hopefully, whatever we see that's not working very well, we can highlight the issues to improve them so that it just improves the whole experience of motorcycling in general, being a biker, being involved in the motorcycle culture, biker lifestyle, let's say, and also riding Harley Davidsons or Triumphs or whatever it is. Okay. Hope you found that useful. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell, like and share. Check out the website, RevelatorAlf.com. And I'll catch you again. Ta-da.